Alright, so we can clearly see that we've been given two equations and we want to solve them simultaneously. Are we going to solve to get x and the y values? No. The question asks us to find the next step using the substitution method. And if you examine each option carefully, you can clearly see that the first equation was used in making y the subject for a and b and making x the subject for c and d. So let's see which options are correct. Let's start from D. Let's start from D. Okay, we make x the subject, 7 plus y, and let's look at equation 1. X plus y equals 7. Okay, we can clearly see that they made x the subject, so let's make x the subject, and we're going to transpose the plus y, so x is equal to 7 minus y. Let's look at what we have for D. X equals 7 plus y. So we can clearly see that D will be out, because this is not 7 plus minus y, this is saying 7 plus y, so that's out. Let's look at option C, where x is a subject. Is it 7 minus y? Of course, we want to make note of the fact that x can also be written as minus y plus 7. We can just simply rearrange these two. Remember, the 7 is a plus 7, and the y is a minus y. So we can put the minus y first and the plus 7 after. Because remember, we are operating on the same side of the equation, so it doesn't matter if we switch them around, the signs will remain the same. Because remember, it's the left-hand side equal the right-hand side. If we are moving terms around on the same side, the signs do not change. It's only when you move from one side to the next, like as in the right-hand side to the left-hand side, or the left-hand side to the right-hand side. But if you're moving on the same side, the signs remain the same. So this plus 7 is on the right-hand side of the equal sign, and it's still on the right-hand side of the equal sign. So the sign remains the same. Likewise, the minus y. So if we see any of these options, we know that it will be correct, because they're the same basically. This is minus 7 plus y. We do not have minus 7 plus y, so do we know this is out? Okay, let's see what happens when they make y the subject. Alright, so when they actually take the first equation, equation 1, and make y the subject, which is actually correct. Let's see. We have x plus y equals 7. Now remember, this is actually equation 1. And so what we're going to do now, we're going to make y the subject. If we make y the subject, it means that we're going to transpose the what? The plus x to the other side of the equation, from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. And of course, once you're doing that, the operation change from plus x to a minus x. So let's write that. Y equals, which is plus y, positive y. We don't need to put the plus in front. Equals positive 7. Or plus 7, if you want to think of it like that. The plus x goes over as minus x. So what we have here is y equals 7 minus x. Now let's see which one of these agree with it. A is saying y equals 7 plus x, so we know that is out. And of course, we can clearly see that B is the only one remaining, so that has to be the answer. And we can clearly see it's correct in y equals 7 minus x. All right, let's check to see if the substitution was done correctly. So it's in the first equation that we made y the subject, y equals 7 minus x. And we take the second equation, which is going to be equation 2. Let's write equation 2, 2x plus y equals 10. And we're going to replace y with what? With 7 minus x. So we have 2x plus, we're going to replace the y with what? The 7 minus x, because y equals 7 minus x. This is coming from the first equation, but we put it in the second equation, where y is 7 minus x. And you clearly see that was actually done here. All right, if we want to solve, we found our answer. If you want to solve this, then we can say, okay, 2x. When a plus or minus precede the bracket and there's no number there, you can think of 1 is there. So we distribute the 1 by distributive law. So positive 1 times 7 is positive 7. Positive 1 times negative x is negative x equals 10. This is just solving it, because we already found our answer. So 2x, let's group according to the x terms. So with 2x, and this is the minus x. Wait a second, why didn't I change the sign? That's correct. We're still on the left-hand side of the equal sign. We did not transpose any of these terms to the right. So we do not change the sign in that sense. But we're going to move the plus 7 from the left of the equal to the right-hand side of the equal. So it's now moved from plus to minus 7. And 2x minus 1x is actually x, and 10 minus 7 is actually 3. So we found x, which is 3. All right, let's see how we'll find the y value. So we need a little space up top here. Let's erase this. So what we're going to do, we're going to substitute x equal 3 in equation. Let's write that. Substitute x equal 3 in any one of these equations. You can use equation 1 or equation 2, or this third equation that we have found. Remember when we transpose the x and make y the subject, we got this equation. We can actually use that one as well, which is the easiest one to use since we already have y isolated. So we can actually put it in this one, but let's use the first equation. And so equation 1, let's call equation 1 up, which is x plus y equals 7. And we're going to put the x value of 3 there. So let's put 3 plus y equals 7. Means y is equal to 7. Transposing this plus 3 over as a minus 3. And so we have y equal 4. So we found the value of x and y. And we can check our values. Let's see. X is 3, y is 4, correct? So this is going to be 3 plus 4 equals 7. Let's use the other equation, see if it works for that one as well. 2 times x or 2 times 3 is actually what? 6. This is in 2 times x value. X value is 3, so 2, 3, 6. 6 plus the y value of 4 gives us 10. Definitely correct.